What's up? What's happening? Welcome to another edition of the Short Porch presented by Barstool Sports. End of the year, final one. No Tommy, no Marty for this one. Just a bunch of our best clips throughout the whole year. It's been a crazy. I'm just looking through like the topics here, like something simple like Aaron Judge getting new teeth. We thought that was the biggest issue, and then he had one of the best years of his career, and everything else went to shit. We had Jeff Passan on the show. Generally forgot about that. Give us hype about Jasson Dominguez. His prediction on Aaron Judge, which he said, well, I'll let you hear what he says, but we asked him at the very end if he thought Judge was going to sign with the Yankees and be there forever, and he gave a yes or no answer, and that I actually don't agree with anymore, which I did at the time. A ton of stuff. Love for Gerrit Cole, now very undecisive on Gerrit Cole. The Clint Frazier interview we just did. David Wells came on the pod. He was excellent. A lot of good stuff from this year. So yeah, if you're taking a drive for New Year's Eve, driving around for the holidays, pop this in, give it a listen. How long is it, TJ?
It's about like an hour and 35 minutes.
All right, so good 90 minutes to just cruise along here. We'll be back with new episodes in 2022, obviously. Whenever we get news about baseball, that would be cool. So we don't have to do these, make these makeshift episodes. Although we're getting by as we are now. I want to talk something real quick about non-baseball. This fucking telescope thing that I've been following here. The James Webb. The James Webb telescope is crazy. I don't think enough people have talked about it. And TJ, if you've heard of it, you could chime in. But I mean, this thing is nuts. We just launched the thing that we've been working on for 25 years. Over the course of 25 years, it costs like $8 billion over the course of time to build this thing, and it's gonna be able to show. We were sending it out 1 million miles into space, and it's gonna be able to show us basically like how the universe started and what the universe and the solar system and everything looked like from the beginning, which is crazy. It's basically the number one like masterpiece technological advancement we've ever made in the history of humans, and like no one is talking about it. And this thing basically, like 344 steps have to be done perfectly for this thing to even work. This thing could all go to shit if one thing goes wrong. One thing rams into it. One thing just doesn't open properly. It has to like build it's so large we couldn't send it up as it is. It has to like make itself basically out there over the next 30 days. Just nuts. I was just reading all about it, and it's going to basically, if aliens are using lights in their cities, basically we're going to be able to see those lights. We can't see the aliens with this, but we can see the lights. It's all fucking crazy. It's so technologically like advanced to anything we've ever thought we can do, and it's crazy. It's just nuts. So I've been following that shit. I blogged about it like late at night the other day. I couldn't get my mind off it. I've been watching all these space videos on YouTube, alien shit, stuff from really smart people, really dumb people, just hearing thoughts all around. But for a stupid person like me, hearing all this stuff, crazy. I had a few people DM me who have like worked on it like over the past few years. Apparently a ton of people have been working on it. And it's just nuts. So I've been obsessed with it. The whole thing that we can see alien cities if they're using like lights is just crazy to me. But yeah, so
people forget we had an astronaut on this podcast in 2020.
We did have an astronaut in 2020. Yeah, it was nuts. I wish I even knew what this was so I could ask him about it. I'm sure he knew. But yeah, fucking the James Webb telescope is just bananas to me. So I've been reading up about that. But yeah, so let's get into the best of the Short Porch in 2021. Tons of stuff here. Fucking stupid WhiteSoxDave takes, our excitement for the Rizzo trade, our excitement for DJLM coming back, which has waned certainly. We had the whole Pinstripe Dan podcast where we all lost our minds and got reeled in. Bronxie the Magic Turtle, that seems like fucking years ago at this point. Java came on, Eli Fishman. It was a fun year, except for whatever the Yankees did. And if you saw today, I think there was a bowl game. Virginia Tech played the bowl game today, and they had the Yankees logo on. And then I think they played the worst brand of football you could possibly play, which is so fitting for 2021. Of course, they didn't play well. They got absolutely shit pumped in their game. So Without further ado, let's take a look back at the best of the short porch.
What's up? What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Short Porch. DJ LeMahieu, 6 years, 90 million, staying in the fucking Bronx, never a doubt. Alongside Tommy Smokes, TJ and the Ones Two's emergency podcast. Marty Mush commuted in the office. He told us he jerked off when he heard the news, so that's just imagine that, I guess, when you listen to this. But DJ staying, I can keep my brain and my semblance, my fucking mind. I don't have to lose it. We're back. 6 for 90. 6 for 90.
It's a big sigh of relief. I felt more relieved than anything. That was my number one is, all right, like it was expected to keep DJ. We're keeping DJ. The thought of having to do this podcast, an emergency podcast like this,
Kill myself
with him going to the Blue Jays or somewhere else.
Suicide.
Yeah, that would have been the most suicidal podcast we've ever done. And we've done quite a few suicidal podcasts. So I'm just glad that that's taken care of. Now let's go get better.
Holy shit. The whole dragging this out, I never really believed he would go anywhere else. I thought he's just so much loyalty here. He loved his 2 years here. I don't take him for a guy who would want him to just pick up his life and move elsewhere, especially during a pandemic. I feel like he's just like too lazy to do that. He has his house down in Tampa, so convenient to spring training, obviously all that. He's just so comfortable here. But obviously as the days go on, that the thought of him being back certainly gets smaller and smaller, and the chance to get smaller and smaller. But his agent did what he did. Got him his 6. He wanted years over annual AAV, which is listen, man. Anyone, and I don't think there's too many people out there, but there are definitely a few who were against giving him these years. Pull yourself together, rearrange your brain, figure it out, pal. 6 years, 90 million for a guy who just finished top 5 in the AL MVP voting the last 2 years, who I have called one of the best hitters in the history of the franchise, and I stand by that. And he put him in any decade, he just blows everyone away. If he played with Babe Ruth, he would hit 700 with their pitching. But anyways, 15 million a year. It's so big just for Cashman and the Yankees, because if they want to stay under that true 210 number, luxury tax, this gives them a little wiggle room to do that and go get a starting pitcher, go get a reliever. 15 million a year. He's also, in my opinion, people are like, oh, he's 32 years old. He's not fucking like Albert Pujols at 32 or like A-Rod. He's not gonna his power. He's not a power hitter.
He's not a power hitter. He's not a speed guy or whatever, like Jacoby. He's a guy that he's just a hitter, and hitters hit. If you look through like history, Derek Jeter hit late to his 30s. Pete Rose played till he was like 55 years old, basically. Like hitters just hit. So I'd much rather have 690 with the low value than like 480.
No question. And like the original news comes out at 6 a.m., which is so rude for me, because I am the opposite of a morning person. Like I go to sleep at 3 a.m. every single night. I'm up, doing work or watching TV or whatever, and then I wake up usually around 9-ish, 9:30 and get going. 6 a.m. I woke up at 9 and I'm like panicking, and I'm like, oh my god! But could you also imagine if you wake up at like after the report in the morning and it was like DJ signs with the Blue Jays or something like that? Then I'm just going to bed for the rest of my life. I'm not talking to him. I'm throwing my phone out the window. I'm just, moving to another country. Yeah, seriously. But 6 for 90 is just, I can't, that's well done by Cashman. I feel like at the end of the day, he clearly didn't care about the years if he goes 6 years. Like 4 was like what they were stuck on for a while. But he was clearly set on, let's get this annual AAV number down. If you want your years, they come to an agreement. DJ wants to stay here, retire a Yankee. The fact that DJ is going to retire Yankee is just so happy. It's just such like a nice, like good. Everyone it just worked out so nicely for everybody. And I'm ecstatic. And what'd you say, TJ? Someone said that they're looking to was it Feinsand or Bowden said like they're.
Yeah, he said on MLB radio that next 24 to 48 could be the move for a starting pitcher.
Right, and the rumor is Kluber's going to make his decision by the end of the weekend. He threw the other day, went well. He's been doing his rehab with Cressy. Obviously has a history with Matt Blake. There's a lot of things that tie them together. Would love that. I think that's a rock solid move. Obviously a little scared about the shoulder, pitchers with shoulder injuries, a little scary. But I'm a big fan of Corey Kluber. And if he's, bring the bot back.
Need like Kluber and somebody else. Kluber
Definitely.
isn't, Kluber of 5 years ago.
Kluber and Massa.
Yeah, I mean, I would do that.
Yeah, I think that would be my plan. I mean, there's also a few starting pitchers out there.
I get so many fucking phone calls throughout the day from people talking about the warranty on my vehicle, and I don't have a vehicle. And it's every single day, 100 fucking calls from a 516 number, my area code. It's just fucking infuriating.
If I don't have your number, I hit reject every time. And yesterday I did it to Vindog, and I don't have his number. And the poor guy texted me afterwards like, hey, I was wondering if I get my blog up. I'm like, oh, fuck, my bad. I rejected his call immediately. But yeah, no, I'm ecstatic. You can't wipe the smile off my face. And meanwhile, the Mets doing this Brad Hand thing. You see that where like one there's like a source off going on with them, and that's hilarious in itself. I did want Brad Hand. But I mean, I'm ecstatic. If you're worried about the years, get a hold of yourself. He's 32. He's gonna age like fine wine. $15 million a year is a bargain, in my opinion. The Yankees win this trade, and so does DJ. He gets his years. So I think both sides are pretty happy.
What's up, you big?
Oh, boys.
Oh shit.
What's up?
What's up, guys?
Not that much.
Can you hear me pretty good or no?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah,
Yep.
You're awesome.
All right, cool.
You're awesome.
Sucks that you
We're in the studio. Wow.
yeah, a little bit of the studio. You got it big time, and you're just blowing off our meetings and all that, right? Yeah. What guy makes one MLB debut, and he's like, yeah, fuck these guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit better. We're getting ready for next year.
How's the off season going? Everything. So it seems like you're.
It's good. Everything's.
That's mine,
Yeah,
you cock
everything's good,
big.
man.
What are you guys doing?
We're trying to adjust the headphone volume. Mine's loud. But it leads in right here, idiot.
I don't know how you can work with these fuckers right
I
here.
have generally no idea. I study
tell
the
me
ship.
about it.
I study this ship. I want to go back to your MLB debut. Kind of a shit show, and kind of is kind
Right, yeah,
of
100%.
kind of
No,
put kind
Shit
of.
Joe is, in all caps.
Yeah, big time shit show. And we actually were talking to Hoke last week, and he was just, I think he's writing in his book coming out. He talked to you about it, of how you basically like didn't get to tell your parents you were making your debut, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
go
it
into
was like-
that.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. I mean, like, obviously you dream your whole life. You have it all planned out. You're like, oh, I'll be in AAA or wherever I'm at, and I'll get the phone call, and I call my parents, and I'll call my high school. You have that list of people you call.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like complete opposite. I got told that I was going. So I got called up on the taxi, like the traveling taxi squad. They're like, hey, you're going to Baltimore tomorrow. Like, you're on the. I was like, oh, I got called. I'm like, oh, did I get called up? Or like, they're like, no, you're on the traveling taxi squad. So I'm like, oh, this is like, I mean, at this point, it's like, I don't even know when it was, like June or I don't know. Not even June. It was late. It was like August. It was late, August, September. It was like coming around this time where it was like late in the season. And it was like, everybody in the media is like, oh, we want this so-and-so to get called up. We're ready for him to get called up. And so I was just so over it. Like, I saw so many rumors and so many things, and I've been told so many things. I was like, all right, I'm going to get called up. I'm going to get called up. And I was getting my hopes up the whole year. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to calm down, and I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm just going to go into it with zero expectations at all. So I show up to Baltimore. It's a doubleheader that day. And the first game, I think King was throwing the first game. And it was like the bullpen just got taxed. I think we were playing 7-inning games, so they can't get. I mean, the bullpen got taxed as much as they could in a 7-inning game, and it was already taxed because it was like they had no off days for like 9 days in front of that. So, I'm and when you're on the taxi squad, you're up in the booth, like where like the GMs and all like the traveling front office guys are. So I'm up in the booth up top, and I go down in between games after the 7th inning, and I'm sitting down in the locker room, and I'm so undervalued that I'm on the taxi squad that we have like an auxiliary locker room, like with like barely even a coat hanger that you can hang your stuff up on. I felt like I was in short season, like still. I mean, I'm like thankful I'm there. I'm like, dude, this is sick. Like this whole and I just walk outside and I get to look at the guys in the locker room, and I'm like walking around, like just felt like you know how it is. Like you just don't want to like step on any toes. And so the coach's locker room is literally like right next to my locker. And I'm sitting there, and like they come in between games, and like I just got this vibe that like they were about to call my name, just because like they kept looking at me, and I could kind of like hear like just rumblings of what they were saying. I heard that they were talking about the bullpen being taxed. And then Booney came out and was like, he just like came up into my locker. He was like, put your jersey on. He was like, you just got activated. And I was like, holy shit, like chills bump, like freaking out. And then like everybody came up to me, like Harkey, the pitching coach, Matt Blake, and all the guys were coming up to me like, it was not even like, congratulations, like you just made it. It was like, go get your jersey on, go outside and warm up because you're coming in this next game. And like in 15 minutes, like the game starts.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
And so I'm sitting there like, I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't even have time to call my parents. So I literally sent him a text. I was like, hey, I just want you. I can't remember what I said. It was something along the lines of like, I just want to let you know I just made the major leagues or something like that. And like they're all like freaking out. Like my Twitter's blowing up, and I just throw my phone. I'm like, all right, I got to go outside and throw. And so I'm going outside. I throw like a normal reliever would before the game, like, and then I come back inside. I check my phone real quick. It's like going crazy, so I don't even like manage to look at that. And then I just go to the bullpen. Like I mean, this was like one of my first few times of being like a real reliever. So I'm just like talking to the guys like Holder and Chad and all these guys.
You're like, how do I do this?
Yeah, literally. That's literally what it was like. I was like, you guys got to guide me through this. I was like, I don't know when to warm up. If I'm coming in the 6th or 7th inning, do I start in the 5th? Do I start in the 4th? I was like, literally just walk me through this. I'm like on bandy leg. And so it came down to it. It was like runners on first and second, and it was runners on first, and then Harkey was like, oh, by the way, like he was like, get hot, like you're hot. And Harkey's so nonchalant. He's been around the game for so long that he's just like, he'll be like, oh yeah, you get hot, like, and like just like so casual. And I'm like, oh shit, like
he's also he's like known for fucking with people and like joking with them.
And he's like a joking guy, like he's a fun loving guy. And so I was like, wait, is he fucking with me or like is he serious? So I'm like just ready to go, start putting my red hot on, start stretching, and I'm like, honestly, there was not really, to be honest with you, there wasn't a ton of nerves. Like I wasn't nervous because there was no fans in the stands. Obviously, we were in a pennant race at the time. If we lost that game, we were going to fall back a game. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of pressure like around the situation, but I wasn't nervous at all. Like I was surprisingly like completely calm. And then I ran out there and I got on the mound. It was like, okay, yeah, now we're here. Like this. Like my heart, you could just tell like the moment for me, I should have slowed the moment down a little bit more. It kind of like just goes by so fast. I remember giving up like a 76 mile an hour, like bloop single,
yep,
like a 84 mile an hour hit. And then like a 92 mile an hour hit. And like, they scored like 3 runs and I look up at the scoreboard. I'm like, what just happened? Like, Crafty comes out and talks to me. It happened so fast. And I felt so bad because I gave up Davey's runs and he was in line for a win. And I just didn't do my job. It was obviously like it didn't work out how we wanted it to, but to be able to get that experience and kind of, I think just to start my career on like a low period like that, it's just like, hopefully it only goes up from there. And it was good to kind of have like some of those struggles because, I learned a lot and it kind of, just where I'm at with like my mental game right now and just like physically and just as far as like motivation and stuff like that. It's never been higher. So to kind of go through those struggles this past year was really good for me.
All right, we now welcome on a very special guest. His debut to the Short Porch, long time coming, the #1 baseball reporter in the land, in the world, Jeff Passan. What's going on, Jeff?
I mean, it's a little over the top.
Is
Number
it?
one?
A dude that you wrote about last summer, who have it was pretty much his introduction when he got signed by the Yankees, Jasson Dominguez. I want you to talk about, and I haven't heard you speak about him. Like, I've seen you the written word, but I need to hear you tell because it gets me so excited. And whenever I hear anything about this dude, he's just the most like hype person like in the history of the world. He's basically like the LeBron James. I know they called Bryce Harper LeBron James of baseball, but like this guy's basically LeBron James of baseball at this point. The way he's hyped.
No, he's not. Let's not do that. Let's not do that on the kid. Come
you
on.
You called him. You're at fault here. You called him Mickey Mantle and Mike Trout. You said you draw comparisons to that. So it's like you're not helping your case here.
LeBron James. Yeah, you're right. Shit. I said others had compared him to, but I did. I did throw that out. Yeah, it's been a while. God, listen, I'm 40 now. My memory is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
I probably would have gone back and edited myself if I had done that. I mean, I did call him like the Martian, which has stuck, which I'm so happy. I'm so happy. It's an unbelievable nickname.
Oh, we will have.
I was going to say, we're going to start thinking of those T-shirts right now.
We're not going to release him. He needs to play one minor league baseball game. That's all I need. Is one, and then we're putting out all Martian shirts. It will fill the Barstool store. I'm very excited to do that. But yeah,
I have heard nothing but good things. Like, look, missing a season of development sucks for every minor league player, especially the ones who are as young as Dominguez. But I think he's going to. The only question with him is what his projectability looks like. You know, with a lot of young guys, especially a lot of young Latin American players, part of the allure that they have is that they can grow into something physically. Jasson Dominguez is just about maxed out physically. He is as explosive as he is right now because he is incredibly strong for someone who's 17, 18 years old. And he was that way at 16 too. Like, he looked like more of a man at 16 than I look like or you guys look like right now. It wasn't even close.
Not even close.
He's got like better facial hair than I do. It's embarrassing.
Just look at Tommy, and it's
I can't grow any facial hair. It took me 3 months to grow a half a goatee.
I still can't connect. Like, I cannot. Can you connect at least?
I can't do anything. I get stray hairs on my chin, the middle of in my cheek. The middle of my cheek, I get stray hairs. That's my beard.
I can connect.
I get a couple of those. I have patches. Like, my wife calls me Patches O'Houlihan. It's embarrassing. It's just terrible.
But yeah, Dominguez can do all that. He has no problem doing that.
And he can hit too.
Yeah,
he can grow.
Yeah, he's probably better at baseball than us too. Yeah.
Damn it.
Let's put it this way though. LeBron James walked into the NBA at 18 years old and was immediately excellent. If Jasson Dominguez was put in Major League Baseball right now, he would not be. He's got a lot of learning to do. That's why this past year sucked, and that's why we don't know when the minor league season is going to start.
Yeah,
I think it's generally accepted that minor league players are not going to be showing up to camp until like late March. So, and are they going to stick there? Are they going to go to an alternate site? Right. None of these things are decided at this point. So we're looking at potentially 2 years of stunted growth. And the only solace that you can take in that is that at least it's happening to all 30 teams as opposed to just yours.
Yeah, that's fair. And he's 18 in a few days. So it's like, if it's at least he's not like 22 when this is happening, where he's getting this stunted growth. He's got some time.
And at the same time, what he's doing right now is training and getting reps in. And it's not the same as live competition. It's not the same as with fans in the stands. It's not the same as when you're going through slumps and you need to figure out mentally whether you're good enough to get through them and to succeed. But in terms of just pure raw skills, he's going to come with more of those than he ever would have playing every day.
Yeah, no doubt. I read reports that he basically sleeps at like the facility in the Dominican and just like he waits for his coaches and he yells he texts his coaches like 10 o'clock to show up. It's everything you want to hear. It's all perfect for the fans and all that. So I love him. I need him to be here soon. If I was probably running the Yankees, I think he'd just be in the starting lineup on opening day. We don't need the minor leagues. No problem.
Clean up, right?
Yeah. My final quick question. This is just a yes or no. Do you think Aaron Judge is a Yankee in 5 years? You gave me a cop out with the last one. You got to give me one here.
No.
I would agree. A lot of news has happened. With some Gardner stuff, Clarke, Schmidt, Domingo Germán. Probably like the most jarring story though so far. Aaron Judge got new teeth. He's followed in the footsteps of Martin himself and me. I got some new teeth. Well, I fixed my teeth a couple days ago, and now Aaron Judge has fixed them. He looks so good.
I don't like it.
Oh, you're one of those, dude, the Short Porch Instagram is filled with people like Tommy that have that opinion. I can't fucking stand those people.
I mean, it depends.
Let the man live. Let the man live.
No, to an outsider, like to a Red Sox or Met fan that want to talk shit, it'd be like his body, his choice. Don't tell a man how to live. Don't tell a man what to do with his body. But if we're in the trust tree here, I mean, that was his thing. Like, I get he could do whatever he wants, but like, And you think Aaron Judge was not getting girls because
He has a girlfriend.
well, whatever. Like it didn't.
Dude, it's all about life is all about confidence.
you think
And when
Aaron
you
Judge
look-
didn't have confidence because of his teeth?
I think he has more
Yes.
confidence now.
Let me tell you something.
No chance.
Let's
think he has more
listen to
There
the
is
guy.
no
Dude,
chance.
teeth is so important. You look in your mirror and you see what he had. It wasn't a good situation at all. now he
Aaron
goes
Judge
to
is
this.
a 6'7" Greek god.
He went from a
baseball star.
Doesn't
to the
matter.
New
He
York
went from like a
Yankees.
6.5 to a hard 10. He looks
Aaron
like a
Judge has been
superstar.
hot before it.
Not with
that.
those teeth.
Lower than it was higher than 6.5.
6.5.
7.
6.5
Unlike his, not like a normal person standards.
Well,
Unlike
that's
an
what I
athlete.
thought
Let me tell you something. As somebody who just got 10 new teeth, I literally, like, I had people tell me all the time, like, hey, like, that's just you. Like, that's just your 2 front teeth being separated. Like, that's just you. And I'm not Aaron Judge, but it's like, but when I thought about it, I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah, but
Because
you're
then once I
different.
get it,
Like I wasn't like Marty, like bad teeth.
just because I'm also not Aaron Judge, obviously. Like that, yeah, like that's like people are like, saying like, oh, it's like
You're saying
if
it's
Anthony,
not like Riggs' hair.
if Anthony-
it's Riggs'
Riggs,
eyes.
Riggs fixing his eyes was bullshit.
but Anthony Davis, like if he shaves his unibrow, you think that's
Yeah.
like what
But
that is
then,
just like.
But then what are you gonna say? Oh well, he should feel. Anthony Davis, of course, he could shave his unibrow. He wants to look better and have more confidence.
But I think that's his own. Like that was his own choice. Aaron
Not
Judge was.
really.
It's
he didn't
for
choose to
you,
grow a unibrow.
you can 1,000% just shave that easily for free. Like Aaron Judge was
Yeah, but-
born with these teeth that suck, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna look sick, and you know what? Good for him.
We now welcome in a brand new guest, but he's also kind of
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter. Let's
I
go.
missed that.
not there.
Yeah.
It's not
Now
there.
we're back.
Yeah.
It's not Derek Jeter. Everybody.
Yeah, it's not Derek Jeter.
No, it's not Derek Jeter. He's kind of been like our fourth guest on a couple shows because you just intro the show sometimes with
Really?
yeah, because
With,
you're
with
doing
the Derek Jeter chant?
I wish
That should actually be our
the,
opening.
the pre-recorded thing. What's up,
Oh,
guys?
yeah. What's up? What's up,
It's
guys? It's
Ed-
Big
it's
you
Eddie
Cat.
now.
you really
If
love
want
doing that,
promo
too.
code
It's Eddie now.
podcast.
So,
Yeah, I know. Because
Eddie.
people were actually mad at me. They were tweeting me like, "You've ruined every podcast." I'm like, so I told Jen Simon, they're like, "I can't do this anymore.
have
I
it
like,
anymore.
I don't want. I
Do
don't
you do
want."
it for like Call Her Daddy too.
Well, it's like I've been at this company for 10 years. I don't want to have like my entire legacy burnt to the ground for a 15-second pre-roll.
For the Barstool store.
Yeah.
You've ruined podcasts forever.
Mhm.
We're in the PMT studio. I'm actually
welcome.
Sitting, I'm actually
sit in my
sitting in
seat.
your chair.
That's okay.
Yeah, but I actually respected it. I asked for you to sit here first, but TJ said it works out. But everyone knows you as Pinstripe Dan.
Pinstripe Dan.
You're back. So we're here. We're gonna do a Mount Rushmore of Yankees that have earned their pinstripes.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Very excited.
We're gonna do the order through this
Yes.
machine here. So I'm just hitting the
Yes.
yellow ball. But how do
You just hit it, and then everyone guess a number, and whoever's closest can pick first.
How many numbers are there?
There's 100.
Okay.
63.
Okay.
43.
23.
64.
I knew I shouldn't have went first. That's fucking Price is Right in the.
Yep. What was your number, Tommy?
43.
So I
Okay.
need 44 to 62.
This is exciting.
64.
No way.
What did I guess?
You said 64.
64.
guessed
I've
exactly.
never gotten that. We do
this
that.
rigged?
Whoa.
That was 64. I was one up and lost.
Wait.
Dude, we do this for
I know.
PMT at the end of every show, and I've never gotten it. We've done this a million times.
That was unbelievable.
And I only bet it because of you.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Speechless.
That's incredible.
Wow. Let's end the show. That was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
that was the best. That was the best thing I've
That's
ever
the
done.
crazy thing.
You
that's ever
really are
happened in the studio.
Pinstripe, Dan.
Fuck, man. All right, I'll go. I'll
But
take
I
the first
lost.
pick.
Wait, but how do we
Now
go
what?
next?
So we
No,
just-
Dan
we
picks
just
the
keep
order.
going?
Dan picks the
I'll
order.
pick the order.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're gonna sit here for 10 minutes.
Let's just go in order. So that way we'll make it easy. So it's a snake draft. So I'll start, and then actually, you know what? I'm gonna go fourth. Marty, you start. Come this way. I'm gonna
Now
wrap
I go
around.
Third.
So Marty, me,
Yeah.
Hubs. Okay.
I want to see which way you guys are going here.
I'm going
still
first.
don't know
Derek
which way.
Jeter.
I have like 100 Yankees I can pick from.
I mean,
That's
Just so
correct.
everyone knows,
I think you
I
have
can
a little
do
more
a
than 100.
draft for days on this.
I'm going
Pinstripe
Derek
Dan.
Jeter number 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Bad
It's
pick.
just Easy pick.
I'm going to go.
That's a pander pick.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I'm here for.
I'm going to go Lou Gehrig.
Oh,
Number 2.
another pander pick.
Oh,
Well,
captain
that's
died.
kinda, I mean, he's also like killing people still now.
Well,
No,
they
his
named
he
it after him.
fought. He
That's
gave
bad.
one of
He
the
didn't create the
pride
know,
of the
but you don't want
Yankees.
soul.
Pride of the
Today I
Yankees.
consider myself the luckiest man,
on the-
man,
on the
man,
face of
man,
the- I mean,
man,
an all-time
on the face
speech,
of this earth.
the pride of the
earth,
Yankees.
earth.
First Yankee to ever have his number retired before Babe Ruth. He got his number retired as Pinstripe.
Do you even know his
retired
nickname?
first. Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horse.
I thought you didn't know Iron Horse there. I was going to be like, what the fuck, dude?
Pinstripe Dan. Don't
Yeah,
try.
I know.
Okay, I'm going Mickey Mantle.
This is going
I
to be the
hate that
easiest
pick.
draft
I
of
know
all
that
time.
pick. I actually hate that.
I hate
Of
that
course,
pick
well, you
too.
hate anything I do.
No, that was
most
dumb. That was bad.
ever World Series homers. That's earning your pinstripes.
No, that was a bad pick.
That's a bad
Mantle.
pick.
Like
Horrible
Derek
pick.
Jeter has
Mickey
to go
Mantle.
first.
Horrible
I don't
pick.
care.
All right, you guys made this so easy for me. My first pick is the easiest pick of all
I know what
time.
he's
You
gonna
should
say.
have gone with number one. What are you going to say?
I want to see who you're going to
Yeah,
say. 'cause I don't
why
wanna
would
give
he
away
pick
my
for
Well, it's Paul O'Neill.
Yeah,
It's Paul O'Neill. He fucking played with like a torn ACL for 130
I
games.
thought I could get him in the second.
He won
round.
all the fucking World Series. He is Mr.
He
Pinstripe.
kicked the ball.
He's the Yankee. He is a Yankee today, tomorrow, forever. What's the Gerrit Cole thing? Yankee,
Yankee fan
yeah,
today,
whatever.
tomorrow,
Right.
for- No, it's
My number two.
Now you don't know where you're going.
No, I mean I really do have like a million. I'll go with Scott Brocious.
That's a good one.
Scott Brocious. I'm
He's
gonna.
focusing on the
I'm
late
dominating
90s,
this
so-
draft
It's-
already.
It's a little too late 90s focus for my liking.
Whoa, I'm sorry. 4 championships, bro.
Bro.
I mean, this is going to be the easiest draft. Real Yankee fans are going to be like, "Oh my God, Big Cat just dominated you guys. This is embarrassing." for
No,
you
I
guys."
got some real Yankees.
What'd you
coming.
do, Lou Gehrig?
Lou Gehrig's
And
a
I have
great
Paul
one.
O'Neill and Scott Brocious.
Yeah, I have Lou
Okay,
Gehrig.
go ahead, Hubs.
Mariano Rivera.
Another bad pick.
Best pick
That's
ever.
a panda.
I don't love that.
You picked Derek Jeter.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go a little off the board here. Thurman Munson.
Oh,
another
another
former-
pander pick.
That's a
just-
good pick.
TJ, are you watching
How is that
this?
a pander pick? Paul
TJ,
O'Neill's
look
the
at some
biggest
of these
pander
names
pick
I
of
have
all.
on here. Come here. I just want TJ's reaction.
Thurman Munson, another Yankee captain, a catcher, died in a plane crash,
at these
multiple
names.
time World Series champion. Yankees played the rest of the season for him.
Yeah,
The famous Bobby Mercer home run.
What are
Thurman
you
Munson.
laughing at? He didn't get it on the Yankees.
Thurman
it's
Munson-
over. It's
Thurman
over.
Munson's a
I
great
don't like
pick.
how this is going.
Okay. All right, Thurman Munson.
got
Cool
two.
pick.
I'm dead focused.
Mr.
My first
Panda,
two
you got
guys
two.
died in the middle of their playing careers.
Your pick,
You
Mickey
took Derek
Mantle
Jeter.
and Mariano Rivera.
Yeah.
I don't think those are pander picks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's
just
a
don't
pander
like
Those are
them.
two of the greatest.
well,
Yankees
it's also
of all
not in a like. We're talking pinstripes here, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Goddamn right.
Yeah, no, I know.
pinstripes.
That is true.
Get your head out of your ass.
That is
okay.
true. Bernie Williams.
Okay. Great bass player. Better bass
Great
player
bass
than he was
player.
center fielder, I would say.
All right, Bernie Williams, and I'm trying to get a good. I want to say
Jorge Posada.
I'm going Jason Giambi.
Oh,
Ooh, that's awful. That's worse.
that is the worst.
Never
pick
won a
of the
World
draft.
Series.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You
Never
could-
won a World Series.
They don't need World Series for this team.
Eh,
You gotta earn your pinstripe
you don't
somehow.
earn your
Tommy?
pinch- That,
Yeah, I
that
mean,
is the worst pick of the draft.
you
I
have
cannot
to win a
believe-
World Series.
He's a
to
big big free agent
That was
signing.
yeah.
That was an astonishingly bad pick.
A big free
Can I
agent
ask a
signing
question?
that comes
I want
over.
to
and-
replay the tape and everyone going, ooh, like it was good. So
No,
fuck
I was
you guys.
shocked.
You know who
like,
I'm gonna
like
take?
Shocked.
And
I'm going to take
also-
a first baseman that did earn his pinstripes, Tino fucking
Tino.
Martinez.
That's a good
Constant
pick, Tom.
Let's
Tino,
go.
The grand
Yeah.
slam
Yeah.
against the Padres, late 90s pride. A guy that came over.
No
Oh,
one
he had to
cares about
replace
your
the
fucking
great. No, he had
explanation.
to replace the great Don Mattingly, the captain, and he comes over. He wins 4 World Series. That's a great pick. That's a steal.
No, I just stole a draft. Andy Pettit.
You guys,
You're
Not bad.
doing. You're
you
doing.
guys stink.
I'm picking winners. That's what I'm doing.
No, you
Andy
You guys
Pettit.
stink. All right, I'll do the straw that stirs the drink for the 2009 World Series champions, the one and only Nick Swisher. You know you should have picked that.
No.
That's a pinstripe through and through. He
No.
just got by
He's
with
too
just
close to
grit,
the program.
determination, everything. Nick Swisher earned his pinstripe.
Has been on the show.
All right, so I don't know where I want to go with my last one. Should I just say all the guys I have on the board?
Well,
Which one do
save
you
them
think I
for
should do?
after.
No, we'll do honorable mentions.
Shelly Duncan.
No, no, no,
Done.
no.
Oh, that's a terrible pick.
That's a great pick.
Never won a World Series.
Damn.
Yeah, he
Never won a
did
World
2009.
No, he was not on the team in 09.
He was on the team in
What, did he get
2009.
did he get a bullshit ring?
He was
Big
on the
time?
team in
I don't know if he got a
2009.
ring.
He was
He
not.
was
in the play-
on the
he
team.
not
He was
on
in the
playoff
organization in
roster. He was
2009.
not on the
That doesn't mean you
playoff
He
get a
was
roster.
in the organization
It
in
doesn't mean you get a
2009.
He was not on the playoff roster.
Fuck, that sucks.
Yep.
I used to go on King the Cod, Six Flags, and
I don't even know who this guy is.
I used to scream
And I picked him.
He had a lot
Shelly
of home runs in,
Duncan.
like April one
He used
year.
to break
Everybody-
everyone's elbows. I literally went on top of King the Cod and screamed out, Shelly Duncan,
Yep.
every time.
Shelly Duncan earned his pinstripes. He was on. Did he
That's
get
what
a
I
World
used to do.
Series ring? Did I just one up your Yankee knowledge?
I mean, he wasn't on the major league roster at all.
He was on July 31st, 2009. Duncan was recalled from Scranton Wilkes-Barre temporarily as an extra
He
bat.
wasn't on the playoff
But he was on the team.
Yeah,
Does he
that
maybe
year.
get a ring?
He got a ring. Did Shelly Duncan get a ring?
That's a phantom pinstripe. I don't know if he has his pinstripes.
All right, I have so many others that I could have gone with.
Wait, so he's done all 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who
Okay.
are your 4?
Who'd you got?
I have Paul O'Neill, Scott Brocious, Nick Swisher, and Shelly Duncan. That is
You started
pinstripes
off
through and
strong.
through.
Yeah,
Tailed
just
off.
train.
I
I was really
love-
nervous after his first
Mm.
one.
Love Shelly Duncan.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great
great
pick. It's a great fucking pick.
I'm not listening to any of you guys. I'm just going off my board. Hideki Matsui is off the board. That is my 4th guy. That's Godzilla. That's my guy. I'm not
Wasn't he-
doing a draft with the Yankees. Not taking Hideki Matsui.
Wasn't he a porn freak?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Don't judge.
Okay.
You know, my last pick here, I think, is going to be the
I
most
love my 4.
controversial pick of the draft.
Sean Chacon.
No, but I think
That's
he is
sickening that you're
he's
not
the
picking
guy that very much embodies this very debate. Because for years we wondered, did A-Rod earn his pinstripe?
Oh.
And then in
But he does. He's got
2009,
'em.
he put the team on his back and carried the team to a World Series championship. And when you think about earning your pinstripes, you think A-Rod in 09. It's the most shining example of that.
Okay. I want to do honorable mentions on the. So you're going to make a graphic, right, TJ? I want honorable mentions also on the graphic because my honorable mentions could be another starting 4 for me.
all have honorable
yeah.
mentions.
Okay.
I'm going Roger Maris for my last one.
Ooh, terrible, terrible.
What?
No one went Babe Ruth?
No.
Wow. Didn't earn his pinstripe.
No, he didn't.
Up for debate.
He
Damn.
would be he'd be bad if he played this year.
How did no one
Adam
go?
Ottavito.
How did no one go Shane Spencer?
That's not a bad. Chuck Knobloch, I consider taking. Chuck
How about
Knobloch.
Luis Soho?
Eh.
So you just Googled
Jim Leeritz. Jim Leeritz.
No, I actually texted Barstool JJ and I was like, give me some fucking names. So he gave me some names. So
Jim
thank you.
Leeritz
Shout
is a
out
pretty
JJ.
good one.
so shocking you took Paul Neal. It's literally his favorite player.
Sean
of all
Chacon
time.
should have been on there.
He just said that because of me. He
No,
knows
I
that
didn't.
love
No,
Sean Chacon.
no, he should.
Yeah.
He start 7-3 that year?
Yeah, it's like a 2.89.
No one
ERA, I
said
believe.
Yogi.
No one said Yogi.
It's so great that you guys are so easy to troll because
Wait, so-
like you actually sat there like he did he just say that? Like that's my favorite player.
Can we go through? Can we go through our final Mount Rushmore? So Big Cat had.
Like,
What about David Wells? Boomer.
Oh, David
Boomer.
Wells is a good
Come
one.
on.
El Duque, Orlando Hernandez is
thought
another
about
good
him.
one as well.
Good on
Not Don
I mean,
Mattingly.
Yogi Berra.
Did Don Mattingly
No.
ever earn his pinstripes?
Yes.
Did Roger Clemens
never
ever?
won a World
Never
Series.
won.
But
Mattingly never
Susan
Captain-
Waldman.
Susan Waldman has her pinstripe.
Yep,
for sure.
absolutely has her
George Steinbrenner.
pinstripe. George Steinbrenner should have taken the
That would've been-
boss.
He would have been a good pick.
Yep.
Almost took the boss.
Phil Rizzuto, Italian,
Yep.
old, short. Really.
What was the other
Billy
Italian
Martin,
guy they had?
Joe DiMaggio.
No,
Whitey Ford.
not Joe
Fucking
DiMaggio.
Spud Chandler should have won.
CC.
CC
Billy
earned his
Martin I was going to
pinstripes.
take because he was such a fiery manager. He would like rub on the dirt.
He got fired also like 100 times.
Who
Yeah.
has their pinstripe? Who's the number one pinstripe owner right now on the Yankees roster? Is it Brett Gardner?
Yeah, it's,
That's got-
unfortunately.
I mean, if you're
Number
there long enough.
one.
He's the only one with a World Series.
Garrett Cole?
He's got him, but Gardner is more.
Who doesn't have him?
Ugh, my God.
Gary Sanchez?
Got now.
Gary Sanchez does not have his
Gary
pinstripes.
El
Sanchez
Gary,
does not.
though?
El Gary also.
Would you
does not
say
have
that
his pinstripes.
Giancarlo has them?
No, I've been premature.
He
to
had
No.
6
He
homers.
did.
in the
He was really
postseason
good. In
last
the,
year.
he's an A-Rod case where if he wins a World Series, I'll give him to him.
I don't like you. You're wrong. It's not
You're wrong.
just a World Series.
No, it's not.
Getting your
Yeah, like
no,
I'd
you're not.
probably say
Every time,
Mattingly
every
has them.
person you're
I
saying,
would say
it,
Mattingly has
every
them.
person you're basically saying no, they don't have it because they have a World Series. That's
Yeah,
just wrong.
Don
I mean,
Mattingly
Jason
has
Giambi
his-
is a shining example of someone who does not have their pinstripes.
But Don
I don't
Mattingly
think
has
Giambi
his
has
pinstripes.
I think he does because it doesn't like just because he didn't win. Yeah, it was a big.
He wasn't
free
like
agent.
that
wasn't
good
in the
playoffs.
postseason.
It was Jason Giambi. He's a fucking meathead. He was awesome.
He's a
He did have
name.
he had the grand slam against the Twins in the rain in 02.
That
That
was
was his
awesome.
big moment.
Yeah, but you
other
guys
than
always
that-
beat the Twins.
Exactly.
What about
Good
Hideki Irabu in memoriam? Pinstripes?
No.
Really? A dead guy? You're not going to give him his
I
pinstripes?
have 2 dead guys on my Mount Rushmore.
You do.
Yeah, but like a
I'm not giving him a
recently
Rabu.
dead
I'm not gonna do it.
guy. No?
No, I'm not gonna do it.
I'm going
What-
to give it to him.
Joe Torre.
Yeah, of course.
Torrey
That was
great.
I think that's a miss right there.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is a big miss.
Well, yeah, none of us took a manager.
Mm.
I was so fixated.
Does
on
Aaron
players.
Boone have it?
What about
Does it-
Joe
no.
Pepitone?
No.
Aaron Boone. I mean,
Why not?
It's such an iconic home run.
I
They
know.
didn't win.
But also
Yeah,
he
I
stinks as a
understand.
manager.
Bad
Yeah.
manager.
He doesn't even manage. It's just a spreadsheet that Brian
fair.
Cashman gives him. Am I right?
good.
I don't
He's
like
good.
him so
JJ
much.
just gave a ton
Fucking
of
bullshit,
notes.
dude.
Yeah,
Fucking
he listened
bullshit.
to one
You
episode.
can walk into any bar in Brooklyn or Manhattan.
I just sit
and
around
sit
you
and
guys.
see-
I hear you guys talk all the time. It's not hard.
I'm gonna piss you off real quick because I'm gonna get you going.
Oh,
White
yes.
Sox Dave's Corey Kluber take.
Oh, that was insane. I'm glad you brought that up. I
Legitimately,
wanted to talk about that.
He thinks he's so smart and knows everything about baseball, and he contradicts himself like in the blog. So White Sox Dave, there was a Eno Harris report that he's like, oh, Corey Kluber's washed. He can't throw 96 miles an hour anymore. I mean, like, dude, this is a veteran recovering from 2 years of injuries. You think he's going to be throwing 96 in fucking spring training right off the bat? Like, he's humming it 90, 92. That's all. Like, that's all we're expecting. We're not no one's expecting Cy Young Kluber. We just want like good Kluber. We want competent Kluber. Just give us innings, eat innings or whatever. And White Sox Dave's like, oh, here we go. He's washed. He's washed up. He's like, oh, don't believe the spring training stats though. But you have to buy into the miles per hour. But you can't bring into the like. What are you talking about, dude? It was such a moronic, idiotic take. But it makes sense. And Dave, when they did their draft this week, I never ever agreed with him more.
Exactly
where he's like, if you're on the opposite side of an argument with White Sox Dave, you're on the right side. So that's how I feel.
That's how I have someone in my friend group.
Did you listen to the Portnoy show where he also said White Sox Dave's brain is just like someone pressing DVR,
Yes.
like pause on it?
That was actually the most accurate thing anyone's ever said.
That was like yes, it was 100% right. So I spent a lot of time with him this weekend. He's the dumbest human being I ever met. Like, I'm dumb.
Yep.
Like, I have social skills.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to people. Like, he is legitimately lost in his own world.
Mm-hmm.
I can't take anything he says like seriously.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I like White Sox Dave. Like I spent more time with him when he was here for the Survivor stuff. I don't think he's I don't know. He gets mad when I called him an idiot 2 years ago. But there are times where it's like, oh yeah, okay, this guy he's smarter. And then there's times where he's 30 seconds behind on DVR.
Yeah, no, I like him as a person. I told him that.
I thought it was
I actually like it.
Like I weirdly got the point he was trying to make in the blog, where it was like, yeah, you'd rather have someone look good in spring training than have good stats. Like, sure, you'd rather have someone have good swings than hit, as long as it doesn't matter if they're hitting 180 or whatever. But it was just such a weird time. He chose to wrote it on a day where chose to write it on a day where he had 4 shutout innings, and he was just basing it on one tweet.
He didn't watch it. And also,
right, like he just based it on one tweet. By the way,
there's
from a pretty random baseball blog.
There's much more to not just the tweet, but the outing. The reports were the movement on his breaking balls were like vintage Kluber. So like that, he's all about if he can just hit your spots and have great movement on your breaking balls, and hum it like 90-92. I think he's gonna get by, and I think he's gonna be totally fine.
Corey Kluber is throwing the first no-hitter in the last 22 years for the Yankees, the first one this century. That was fucking awesome. I got nothing. I'm speechless. That was so cool. I know no-hitters are, so hot in the streets. Everyone fucking gets one these days. But that was so cool coming from Corey Kluber in Texas, 2 years removed from where he got hurt and was out for 2 years. He was awesome. And honestly, the Yankees just getting a no-hitter. I never thought I'd honestly see it because it's been so fucking long. But that was so cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like you said, like it's the one thing I feel like I haven't experienced as a Yankee fan. Like we've seen World Series, we've seen MVPs, yada yada, but it's been 3 years old. I don't remember shit about that. The David Cone perfect game. So it's something I've always been like, oh, I really want to see this, and it was really cool. And yeah, sure, did it come right on the night after another no hitter, and it's like the 6th in a record breaking season? Yeah. But I mean, the fact that it was Corey Kluber like makes it even more special just because it just proves like how good he is. Like as excited as I am over the no-hitter, I'm weirdly almost as excited that like, wow, Corey Kluber's
completely
like amazing.
Yep. Completely. Like, I'm not even like, I just said this in the blog because last night I literally blogged Spencer Turnbull's no-hitter at 2:30 in the morning. Like I actually lost track of the days. I called it Wednesday night 4 times in the blog. I just had no idea what was going on. But anyways,
it was Wednesday.
Right, but like I said, whatever.
Right.
I was like, it's so hot in the streets, and I think I said, if you're pitching in the 9th inning these days as a starting pitcher, odds are you haven't given up a hit. You're like, there's just a reason. Like, and these days, this is now 6 no-hitters, 7 if you count Bumgarner. So like honestly, like let's say it was Jordan Montgomery. If Jordan Montgomery threw his no-hitter, good for Jordan. He need a good start like that, but I wouldn't have the reaction I did right now. Obviously, Gerrit Cole, he breathes, I go nuts. Obviously Tyone, same kind of story as Kluber. The fact that Corey
It's taken 2 years to get to this point. So many people counted him out, especially after his first 3 starts, us included. Not counting him out, but like, let's go, Corey. Like, let's see what you're made of here. We got to see something. And over his last 5 or so starts, he's been nothing but great. And this was obviously, the peak of everything. And he was so good. The one walk he had, and that's the only thing that takes him away from perfection. He was excellent. 9 strikeouts, only 101 pitches. I am just ecstatic for that man.
First of all, I was like trying to not lock in because I didn't want to have any powers. I've dropped mush from my name, so I've been unbelievable. I've been
take a little credit.
Take a little credit. Happening. I think just call me Marty. That's it. The best thing with like no hitters is after on Twitter, like how many excuses people have, like, oh, it's the Rangers, who cares? Oh, everyone's doing that. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
The Rangers put up fucking 4 runs on Gerrit Cole. 5 runs? 5 runs on Gerrit. No, 4 runs. 4 runs on Gerrit Cole. What?
5.
Oh, was 5? Yeah, whatever. They rocked Gerrit Cole. Like, he didn't have anything the other night. So, spare me that. And they were like, I think they had won 7 of 10 after Monday night or whatever. So, spare me the Texas shit. He was excellent. It was like all of his strikeouts tonight, like his slider. Oh my God. Like absolutely dancing, pinpoint control. There really wasn't that one play kind of that was like,
almost Tyler Wade at the end. I mean, which wasn't even that amazing of a play, but I thought for sure that was.
He just got there so quickly to like make it like such a certain out that it was a little surprising. Like I thought he was gonna have to be on the run to make the catch. He was just camped under. Like he was just good to go. The one play the play that for me was like, oh shit, something's happening here. And it's not even that special, but like the ground ball to Gio in the 8th inning that short hopped him. I was like, that was hit hard, and it was a weird, that could have easily taken a bad hop, gone under him, or whatever. And with the Yankees' history of this shit in the last 22 years, it takes the bad hop. Gio handled it perfectly. DJ, and then was it the 9th inning where that little
first out of the 9th?
Yeah, off the bat,
I thought that was a single up the middle.
Off the bat, yeah, but he slid over a little bit there towards second, makes the play.
Like pick 2 on like the short hop.
Yeah, there really wasn't like that, diving play or robbery of any sort, but that just speaks to how dominant really Corey was. I don't know.
We got Kluber, right? Everyone was like, all right, it's a question mark, sure. And you're like, when you get a name like that, because I love when my teams get named, like the Giants got Kelvin Benjamin. I know he's not good anymore, but it's still like maybe they got that little part of it.
I had the same thought. I was like, holy shit! Like the Giants are putting together a squad.
So when the Yankees get Kluber, it's like, all right, maybe if he has that little bit of Cy Young left in him, I'll take that. And then he's doing fucking no hitters, and you could see how good he still is. It is amazing that he's on our team right now.
Corey Kluber just is good. I actually did even before the no hitter. I think it was during his last start or something.
Last start wasn't great. His last start wasn't as good.
Obviously. Well, whatever. It was recently, and like I went back to look at his baseball reference, and it's like it does make sense that he could still be this good. 2018, where is it? In 2018 with Cleveland, he won the Cy Young. He won 20 games and won the Cy Young.
I think that's a good award to win for a pitcher.
Right. In 2019, so yeah, his ERA total was.
Are you looking at spring training stats or regular season?
I think I'm looking at real stats here.
Okay.
So 2019, sure, his ERA total is 6.56, but he made 7 starts. Sure, that's bad for his 7 starts, but it's also, a relatively small sample size.
His ERA is 2.86.
Right. And last year he pitched 1 inning. So it's not like there's been an extended period of time where Corey Kluber was a bad pitcher. So it makes sense that as long as he's healthy, he's still good.
But according to WhiteSoxDave, March 23rd, title of the blog, in a shocking development, Corey Kluber, spelled his name wrong, Corey Kluber, looks like raw asshole for the New York Yankees. That fucking barn animal who I believe doesn't even have an apartment in Chicago. I think he rotates from farm to farm and just lays in mud. And he just comes up with these horrific baseball takes. He thought that Corey Kluber in March 23rd, spring training, when he's throwing 89 miles an hour after not having pitched in 2 years, he thought he was raw asshole. He said that, what do we got here? Has Kluber already failed? No, but the early signs do not look good if he's only sitting 90 with shitty command. Spring training is to get work in, blah, blah, blah. I'm just the messenger. When the Yankees are DFAing Kluber come June, don't say I didn't warn you. We tried to tell him he was a fucking idiot, and then he's like, no.
We should have, in retrospect, been really happy about that. Like, even happier about that article. Almost like the Bob Nightingale effect. Like, we should have seen that and been like, all right, Kluber's locked in for a no-no this year and just absolutely shoving.
The main event was Gerrit Cole. Josh Donaldson talked shit about him last week. He mentioned him out of nowhere. Basically, after the 4 minor leaguers were caught and suspended for illegal substances, he mentioned Cole because Cole had just gotten hit up by the Rays. Even though he really didn't in that start, it was kind of like death by bloops. He really didn't get hit too hard. Did give up the 5 runs, though. His RPMs were down. Not like a crazy amount that you like be terrified of, but obviously the media and all them, they're going to make a story out of it. Donaldson brought his name up, obviously. Trevor Bauer was asked about it over the weekend. After he hasn't looked so good lately, he reiterates that he thinks he's like the savior of all this somehow. He ends up, Trevor Bauer wins the Cy Young, gets his $100 million contract. He's now on the Dodgers. And then somehow is spinning this that he's the savior in the spin rate because he's the one that brought attention to it, even though now he's basically benefited from it more than anyone besides, I guess, Gerrit Cole because he got a $300 million contract. And so now Gerrit Cole is asked about it on Tuesday, leading up to the game. One of the worst press conferences I've ever seen. There's really no spinning it. I don't want to spin it. Like it was it was really bad. His lowest moment was a Yankee by far, and there haven't been many low moments. Wasn't good at all. And he had to face the music on Wednesday. He's facing Josh Donaldson, poetically. Struck him out twice. 2 dominant at-bats. Dominant performances in those 2 at-bats, and then he got a weak pop out as well. But I was a little nervous, I'm going to admit, but he was like, you just don't know what you're going to get after this. But all the numbers were there. The spin rate even was like much better than I thought it would be. It was the hardest he threw in his career in a start. 98.2 miles an hour average 4-seam fastball. He's never reached that in his life, in his MLB career. And it was 1 mile an hour faster than he was pitching this season. Everything was working. He gave 2 solo shots. Who cares? He was kind of just pitching the contact at that point because the Yankees were up by so much because their offense was exploding. But all in all, Gerrit Cole was fucking perfect. Not perfect. He was very, very good in this game. And just what we needed. And so I can relax. Yankee fans can relax. We can move forward for at least one more start.
Gerrit Cole is still Gerrit Cole. The Yankees have so many problems right now. We even talked about this on Sunday where the thought of having a Gerrit Cole problem is not something we're equipped to handle right now.
No.
We have too many issues right now where you can't throw a Gerrit Cole problem on my plate right now too. I don't think we'll be able to handle that. So seeing him tonight sure, I'm sure the spider tack whatever helped, and I'm sure maybe it'll have a little bit of an effect. But I'm like, it's not like Gerrit Cole is going to become a number 3 starter all of a sudden. He's still going to.
That's the hope. That was certainly the hope of some people, but it's not the case.
No, I feel that was throwing the hardest ever. Having those
yeah. Could you ever expected after this start what's coming into it? That we're getting the hardest Gerrit Cole ever.
It's just like I'm really fucking not messing around tonight.
Yeah, and then those tip of the caps to Donaldson as he walks away, so frustrated that even on a level playing field, he has no fucking chance at Gerrit Cole. I believe in his career now 0 for 9 with 5 strikeouts. So yeah, that's going to continue.
It must have felt amazing, and it's so rare for a rivalry like that to sort of actually end up having such a clear winner. I don't know. I feel like when it's this guy versus this guy, it's I don't know, a ground out or something. It doesn't end up sort of living up to the feeling of one guy is going to dominate the other guy. It's not like there's always a home run. I mean, in some cases, A-Rod Dempster comes to mind. But to see him very clearly shut him up, where you strike him out twice easily, make him look silly, was just awesome to see. And to be on the right side of it was even better.
What's up? What's happening? We already recorded the show on Thursday. Trade deadline week is fucking nuts. And Tommy, you went home. I was packing my things up, and all of a sudden, Brian Cashman decided to trade for Anthony fucking Rizzo. Out of absolutely nowhere. It's quite possibly the most Brian Cashman move I think I've ever seen, where you didn't hear an inkling that they were connected to Anthony Rizzo once. All you heard was Red Sox. They needed first baseman, all this. Brian Cash goes, nah, I'm going to step right in here. I'm going to take these guys. You take 2 minor leaguers that are years away from coming up here. You're going to pick up the check, too, and we're going to get Anthony Rizzo, an unbelievable lefty first baseman who does everything the Yankees could possibly need, plays good defense. He's a fucking gamer, hits for a high average, grinds out at bats, a clutch player, a fucking winner, a World Series champion. And he's a New York Yankee out of the clouds. Your reaction, Tommy?
I am so excited. This is the move I wanted the Yankees to make. I had my reservations about Gallo. I was happy about it, but I wasn't completely sold that move alone was it. This is the fucking move I've been waiting for the Yankees to make. Yeah. Anthony Rizzo is a gamer. He's a competitor. He's a winner. He's a lefty bat that the Yankees need. He's a grinder. He grinds out at bats. He does hit, like, I know people are tweeting, they'll be like, oh, you like his 248 average? 250 average could win a fucking batting title on this Yankee team, to be honest with you. He's a career 270 hitter. He's shown that he can hit for a higher average. He does get on base a lot, too. He has power. He's clutch. He just sounds like a New York. He was born to be a New York Yankee. Anthony Rizzo is the perfect New York Yankee name. He sounds like he should have been part of the late 90s dynasty. He's an Italian, which is a huge leg up in my book automatically. DiMaggio, Berra, Rizzo, Gallo. The Yankees are just assembling a group of Italian stallions right now. And that could be a T-shirt right there, Italian stallions. Maybe we have Gallo and Rizzo in like, okay, we might be workshopping. Maybe like Italian stallions and like Rizzo and Gallo each riding a horse or something, and it's in green, white, and red, like Italian colors.
Your brain's going to places I wasn't, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, keep talking. But this is a Steinbrenner move. This is a Steinbrenner move. This is a fucking Steinbrenner. This is an old, not yet. You're giving up top 15 prospects, 2 of them, 9 and 12. These guys are years away from cracking the surface. And like we get into in this podcast later on, like, it's time to just fucking go for things. I know they're the AL East is done. Like, they're not. That would take a miracle, but the wild card is certainly not. It's very, very attainable. There are only a few games back there. You can easily get in, and who the fuck knows what happens when you get in there. And you can't wait for these prospects. You got to start. You can't prospect hold anymore. They're going for it. Cashman's going nuts. Basically, playing for his job, I guess, or managing for his, or general managing for his job.
General managing for his job.
Yeah, like that's basically what's going on here. He's like, okay, we got to get fucking going. He's been dormant the last few trade deadlines, and like Anthony Rizzo is a fucking man. I'm gonna miss Luke Voigt so much, and you hear me in this podcast in various moments get sad about the departure, the soon departure, and he's not gone yet, but he will be.
This was before we knew about Rizzo.
Yeah, and like I was sad, and like now he's definitely gone. And it's gonna suck to see him on another team. But like if you're gonna transition to another first baseman after Luke Voigt, Anthony Rizzo is quite possibly the best guy you can possibly pick to do that. Like in terms of being high character and production in the field, like this guy is absolutely. The Yankee fans are gonna. If you don't know enough about him, you're going to love Anthony Rizzo. I feel bad for Carl. I hope he doesn't like drive off the road. I know he's driving right now. I'm very scared for Carl.
Big tattoo. Pinstripe Dan is going to be so back.
Yeah, he's he basically threatened to kill us if we miss the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, no, this is a move. This is a classic Yankee move. We talked about they've been quieter at other deadlines, and you know what? Good. Like maybe them struggling so much in the first half and fans getting on them. You're welcome. Has really inspired them to make some moves, because what was happening, the first half Yankee team was not it certainly wasn't a World Series team, probably wasn't even a playoff team, and it sort of served as a wake-up call, like, hey, some things need to change, and things are changing. And the Yankees have done this. They also haven't even though some of these prospects are definitely solid and top 10-ish, 15, 20 range, no prospect yet has been a guy where you've heard like,
dude, they haven't traded a top 5 guy.
Right. Like none of these guys are like, oh, he's really going to be a piece in the future. Like he's not a guy there hasn't been a guy they've traded that's been very hyped up yet. The fact they've been able to hold on to most of these people is impressive.
Yeah. And they're not paying for any of them. They're all free.
Right. Is Rizzo also free?
Rizzo's completely free. Rizzo was owed $6 million the rest of the year, completely free, and so is Odor is free, Gallo's free. I think there's one more guy who's free. They're just we have guys on this team that we're not paying for. It's insane.
That's a good strategy.
I mean, Sporting News put out this lineup. Now we talk about Gallo. I think Rizzo's the guy you throw in between Judge and Stanton.
I agree.
So
I think I have my lineup in my head.
I've got DJ, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, Gallo, Gary, and then Gio, Glaber, and Greg Allen.
Yep, that's pretty much what I was thinking. I almost would be tempted to drop Giancarlo in the lineup, to be honest.
I was thinking about it. I thought about it. That's a discussion for, we'll...
Right, that's also going to depend on, if Glaber keeps playing well, he can move up. But yeah, this is now, man. When you compare this to the lineups the Yankees were throwing out a few weeks ago, I mean...
Yeah, with Rob Brantley.
Last weekend, I mean.
Rob Brantley at first base.
Yeah, compare this to the Red Sox series and the Phillies series. The World Series is back on.
Crazy. Holy fucking shit. It's not hitting me yet. Rizzo he is everything your strikeout rate, 15%. That's the guy that you
strike out a lot.
Grinds out at bats. And he was hot too. He had just had a 3-homer game streak just before this. So he's cooking. Man.
And there's undoubtedly more to come. Because Luke Voigt is now
Jim Bowden reported they're going after pitching right now.
There's no way Luke Voigt is a Yankee salary. So which sucks. And it is something we're gonna have to cope with. Getting Anthony Rizzo definitely helps that situation. And we were talking about how Voigt is such a good locker room guy. Rizzo is the same exact way. But Voigt is now clearly an odd man out and a relatively valuable odd man out.
3 years of control. 3 years of control. Yeah.
I don't think he's giving you an ace, but you can definitely build a package around him.
Yeah, and
get you a very good starting pitcher.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna miss him. Wherever he goes, you're gonna get an awesome player. Yeah, it's gonna suck to have not Luke Voigt on this team, but man, he just didn't stay healthy, and it sucked. It was fun for a while, and then the hernia, right around that London game, or whatever, really fucked him, and then foot stuff last year, and this year just couldn't get it going with the knee, and then the oblique is just one after the other, and it's Cashman not enough. He's got to go get a consistent first baseman. So here you are. He's only a rental at the moment. Who knows what their plans are in the future with him? But no idea if Rizzo has any plans to stay in New York.
What is this fucking picture you just tweeted out? You couldn't have picked a better still of me. Anyway, from the short Porch account. And I also want to add, this isn't a sleeping shirt. This is just, I don't know. It's my lounge.
Who cares? We got Anthony Rizzo and the Yankees. Who cares what you look like?
Oh, also, the way I found out, I have two more things to say. The way I found
you were walking in the rain?
I didn't have an umbrella, so I just said, you know what? I'm going to fucking just walk in the rain. Whatever. It was kind of freeing. I thought to myself, this is so freeing. Just not care that I'm getting wet. And I was I can't wait to get to Target and tweet this. Just got into Target, immediately took out my phone, tweeted it. And then I swipe out, I go, and I see a text conversation with you, Marty, and Big Cat. And I'm like, huh, that's weird. And then I see Big Cat nobody said in the text Rizzo. I was like, what the fuck? And then I go to Twitter and I just see all these tweets and I was like, holy shit, the Yankees just got Anthony Rizzo. That, what a moment. What a moment. Truly. Oh, and then my other thing, I saw one person tweet oh, you canceled, you've been negative. You're welcome. The angry Yankee fan is what spurred the Yankee front office to make changes. If every Yankee fan was like, you fucking losers, aren't it's all right, we'll turn it around. We got a great group of guys here. The Yankees wouldn't have done shit. The Yankees front office needed to hear some angry Yankee fans get on this team and say, we're tired of fucking losing. We're tired of being mediocre. And we want to be the New York Yankees again. They heard our cries for help and they answered.
They heard that we needed lefties. Guess what? They went and got Joey Gallo and Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah.
This lineup is going to be so weird in Miami. What? You're just going to see these guys playing for the Yankees? What's going on? It's going to be crazy. Now, they need pitching. They definitely need pitching, and that's what they're going to use Voigt to do that. And I don't know what they're going to go after. Whether it seems to be bullpen help, maybe a starter. I don't know. They just got Anthony Rizzo. Fucking books wide open what they can do. Cashman's at his full arsenal disposal, and he hasn't touched the top 5 guy. He's kept all these guys.
Jose Barrios. I
would come for Jose.
We'll talk about it more later on the show, but I could really see it.
I love how Jared tweeted a picture of Anthony Rizzo on the Red Sox.
Twice now, someone deleted a fucking tweet when I quote retweeted. Somebody was like,
I hate when that happens.
That's definitely. Because someone was like, "Oh, he has a bad back. He travels with his own mattress." That's awesome. You travel with your own mattress. What an alpha move. He travels all over and it's like, "This is my." I love that.
Wait, Rizzo does that?
Yeah,
he's probably Judge should do that.
One random tweet at me. I don't know how true that is.
If that Judge should do that, he should tell Judge to do that so he can travel safer or something.
Maybe that's what Gardner does.
Maybe Gardner just travels his mattress.
Maybe that's why he's the only healthy person on the team.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love that idea. Fuck. What a crazy, crazy move. What a crazy day.
We always ask people, players who were on that 98 team, about George and your relationship with George. Is there a story that sticks out to you about your relationship with George Steinbrenner?
Well, it started off, with when I signed over there, I met him. It was great. But, to me, it started going a little south. And George was a hard-nosed guy. He was tough, to be around. A lot of the people, like, you would hear the walkie-talkies go off when he pulled into the parking lot. The Eagle has landed, and then people were scattering. And you hear the stories until you witness it, and then you're like, okay. But he was always, like in your face kind of guy. But that's just who George was. He's the boss. He signs the checks. He wants winners, and that's what you had to do. And I had an altercation with him, interleague game, and against Montreal. And Pedro was pitching with Montreal, and Darren Fletcher hit a home run off me to right field, barely went over, and a fan actually interfered, like the Jeffrey Mayer in '96. And so I think I ended up pitching 7 or 8 innings that game, and I think it was a 2 or 3 run homer, so we're 3-0. Pedro obviously was dealing as well, and so I walk in and I see George talking to our clubhouse guy, and I'm like, "Hey, George," I said, "you got to do something with that fence out there." I said, it worked for you in '96, and it worked against us today. You got to put a higher fence so people can't interfere. And then he popped off. He said something derogatory, and it didn't sit well with me. So I told him to fuck off. And, it got into one of those battles, and he got up in my face. And I said, "Listen, I'm going to go get ice on my shoulder, on my elbow, on my back. And if you're out here when I'm still here," I said, "I will take the ice off and whoop your ass." And that's basically what I told him. And he's like, "I'm not afraid of you." I go, "We'll find out." So sure enough, I go do that, and I come out, and there he is. And I start ripping that ice off, and I chased his ass out the clubhouse. And I was MFing him. It was because I was pissed off. He goes, if you don't like the way I'm pitching, why don't you trade me? He goes, "I tried to, and nobody wants you." I'm like, well, that pissed me off. That set me into another level. So fast forward a couple days later, I'm walking in during the game, and outside of Joe Torre's office was a phone. He had a phone out there, and the phone was ringing. So I picked it up. I go, "Yankee Stadium, second base." He goes, "Who is this?" I go, "You called me. Who is this?" And I knew it was George. And I said, "Hey, George, this is Boomer." I said, "Hey, listen, I want to apologize for the other day." I said, "I was out of line. That should have never happened." And he goes, "You wait right there." And he came down, and we went into Joe's office, and we hashed it out. He gave me a big old hug, kiss on the cheek. He goes, "You're my guy." And ever since then, we were, peas and carrots, as Forrest Gump would say. So To me, it was great. I had a great relationship with George, but I could see how I could see how he was towards people, but he just pushed to the limit because he wanted the best out of you. And that's the only way I can put it. And, and he trusted his staff, but they would squabble. Him and Joe would go at it. But, to me, he just wanted to challenge you and see what you're made of. And if you didn't meet those expectations, goodbye.
That is an incredible story.
It was nuts. Yeah, it was.
We've
nuts,
asked
but-
a lot of different Yankees like stories about Steinbrenner. Nobody's been like, yeah, I threatened to kick his ass one time.
Well, you pissed me off. We're gonna go toe to toe. It didn't matter, but that was just me. I didn't give a shit. I didn't talk. I'm a grown man. Speak to me, with respect. I mean, I'm out here. I'm doing my best. I'm putting 100% every 5 days. And then I'm on the bench the other 4 days rooting for my team, giving another 100%. So, to me, I'm a cheerleader, and then I'm an athlete. And then it's don't talk down and look down on me because of that. I mean, I'm doing my job. And if I'm not doing my job, then either you send me down or you trade me. But don't talk down to me like that I don't count. And I don't think that applies in any job description whatsoever. Always treat people with respect until they disrespect you. Then that's your problem. Then you deal with it in your own ways. But that's just George was. But to me, it's something with him. He was a warrior as an owner, but he was a crazy son of a bitch, and he was my crazy son of a bitch, and I loved him for it.
We just watched the New York Yankees storm into Fenway. We're begging for 2 of 3. Fucking swept them. Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, Joe West. Holy fucking shit.
The big three?
The big three. I said this before. Is this the happiest we've ever been on the podcast? Yeah. Happiest podcast episode.
This year, I think.
This year for sure.
The White Sox was the last really happy one we had when they swept the White Sox.
Well, sometimes
I'm talking all-time short porch.
All time?
Oh, no. I think
maybe with me on the podcast.
With you on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about when they won the Twin Series, going to the ALCS?
No, we knew that was going to happen.
No, all right, after Game 1. Remember they won Game 1 convincing fashion in Houston? 2019 Game 1 ALCS.
Okay.
I think that was probably
regular
the
season.
top of the world.
Regular season episode.
Sure.
Happy.
Yeah.
I mean, that game had everything. And for a while, I didn't say it out loud, but I checked my phone. It was like 9:19. It was like the top of the 7th. I'm like, wow, this game's gonna be over like 10 o'clock. Great.
Yep.
No,
chaos.
Did not happen that way. It was a relatively boring game. I feel like for those first 6 innings, not a lot happening. Not scoring for Monty, and then fucking the fire alarm delay. No one could catch a fly ball on either team. Fucking the drop strike 3, clearly a drop. Great. And you know what? People who are going to get on Joe West, and I don't care for one bit, it's a very thankless job being an umpire. No one is ever going to be like, great job, you. They always just look for the scorecard in the morning and just, he missed all these strikes and, this team got too many runs. No one ever will do that. We're going to, as a pocket, let's look out for those umpires. Joe West did his best out there. His best.
Did Joe West maybe miss a call or two tonight? Yeah. Was he also correct on like 150 calls tonight? Yeah.
Well,
he made a lot of good calls. And if you miss a call, does that make you a bad person? No.
But no, he didn't.
We make mistakes all the time.
All the time.
He didn't miss that
Being
call.
a terrorist?
He also didn't miss the call.
That's just,
he dropped the ball.
When you foul it off, you get another pitch. And that's what Judge did. And he dropped it. You have to hold it for 3 seconds. And he hit a double. I don't know why you can't strike out and end up on
And
second.
then Giancarlo hit a ball 500 feet.
Yeah.
And the most important thing, Bobby Dahlbeck had an opportunity to catch a pop-up and end that at-bat a pitch prior.
I don't understand what everyone's complaining about.
How do you drop a pop? What kind of baseball player, what kind of professional baseball player can't catch a pop-up in a situation like that?
Yeah, so it's sad. I don't know what. Yeah, we would always catch those.
I've never would the Yankees drop a pop.
Is this us three giving you vibes of the 3 kids on the couch talking politics?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, something. The colors of these walls.
You know that meme?
Yeah, I do.
I was just like sitting like this.
The color of this wall, I think, is exactly the same as the video.
Too. But yeah, I mean the drop third. Let's be real for 2 seconds. That's insane.
How about the fact that it's not reviewable? How we have replay. We got it all, right? How's everything should be aside from balls and strikes, that's another story. But every play that happens, you should be able to just common sense department.
Yeah, I'll give like in real time, I did not think it was as bad as it was. Like
no, real time. You just think he tips it, it drops.
Like when Jared said that, like it's on the. It was on
I think
transfer.
I think Pat said it as a joker. Like but like it actually.
Said, I mean, laugh. But I mean, hey, it's a good call. Yankees won. I don't give a fuck.
Giancarlo Stanton, I love him. Like tonight is that. Those were the 2 biggest at bats of the Yankee season, back to back, down 2-1, top of the 8th. in a playoff race. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton back-to-back. Judge with a go-ahead double. Giancarlo with the moonshot. Like, that is what you dreamed about when the Yankees traded for Giancarlo Stanton 3-4 years
3
ago.
homers, 10 RBIs this weekend. The only Yankee to ever do that in Fenway in a 3-game series. And I believe the 4th Yankee ever to do that in just a 3-game series against the Red Sox. And the other 3 are Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Mickey Mantle.
Those guys are
Good company.
So, yeah.
The only problem with Stanton is that he hits his home runs too fast, and you don't have enough time to cheer right away.
I was going to say he hit him both Saturday and Sunday early in the count. Saturday was the first pitch. Was tonight the first pitch, too? Or was it?
I think it was first pitch.
Was it first pitch?
Because it was
Might have
so
been a pitch,
fast
yeah.
after.
I want to say it was second
Like,
pitch.
he needs to let the anticipation build.
Like,
a
we
little
couldn't
bit.
settle down from Judge.
I couldn't
Right.
set up the at-bat.
We were
Yeah.
still. I was still celebrating, like tweeting about Judge. I hadn't
Yeah.
adjusted my focus back.
But he
Yeah.
hits it too fast. It was
0-1
like-
count.
Oh,
It
well.
was
But
like,
yeah,
whoa.
still. If
Let's
I
give
could give Giancarlo one constructive criticism after this weekend, wait for your big home runs to come in like the 4th pitch. of
Let
the
us
at-bat. 5th,
finish-
6th. Let the anticipation build.
Let us.
Other
let
than
us
that, you're
finish
doing great,
tweeting,
sweetie.
You know, let us finish tweeting.
Yeah.
He hit that ball so 116 off the bat, 450 something. That's
Which one are we
one-
even
I think it
talking
was
about? The
118.
Grand Slam or tonight?
No, the homer was 116 tonight.
Really?
Tonight.
Oh.
I don't know about Saturday. And this game was insane enough. Saturday, I mean, the Grand Slam was unbelievable.
Two
A moment
things
that
the
I
Yankees
watched it.
don't do,
I watched
too.
it like 300 times on Saturday night.
That's things the Yankees never did was when they're losing in the 8th inning and like actually have heart.
People
and
do
bring
it to
back.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone does that to us.
Yeah.
We're bringing up bad things here, but I think they're the only team in baseball that's lost with a 4-run lead in the 9th inning twice this year.
Yeah. But hey,
But
we
not
did
doing bad. No,
That was the biggest Yankees regular season home run since
the Grand Slam.
Yeah. Since what? I don't have an answer on mine. I'm just throwing it out there. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
What was the
Recency
question?
bias is getting me to be
Biggest-
good right now because I don't remember anything.
That Giancarlo Stanton
Regular
Saturday
season?
Grand Slam was the Yankees' biggest regular season home run since when?
Couldn't think of anything.
The Twins 14-12 game, but that's not
Did
the
anyone hit a
same.
big home run then?
That's what I'm saying.
Hicks.
Yeah, Hicks hit a home run and then
Yeah.
he had the diving catch the next inning, right?
Hicks hit a righty home run.
But that's
And then
not the
he
same.
That was just a
catch.
crazy game.
That was like in
That
July.
wasn't like
Stakes are
a-
not high.
Right. I'm just,
So to go back to this, we have to find like
You have
it
to
has to be a
count-
late season. It's
Yeah,
September
I guess,
basically.
if you're factoring in the stakes.
The Judge homer off Kimbrel, but they were already winning, I think, by then. I'm thinking
When is that? What year?
it was 2018,
18?
I want to say. Gardner hits that triple. Judge hits.
Oh, that was at Yankee Stadium.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
having fun here. I don't even, yeah, I can see Mush just staring at this, but unfucking believable. Giancarlo Stanton, everything you could ask for and more this season. I swear to God, if he has a 3 strikeout game coming up here, like in the Tampa series, that's the last home series. Do not fucking boo this guy.
No, Giancarlo Stanton is unbooable for the foreseeable future. We are declaring that as a podcast.
I could see that clip getting cut and then like you boo it. You
No,
were like, fuck
look,
this guy. No,
I'm-
he's untouchable.
Look, I'm critical, but when a player gets to a certain point of like trusting him, like they become critique proof. Giancarlo has reached that point right now. Like, yeah, I get that he's always going to be a booable target because of his contract, because he's not a homegrown Yankee or whatever. People are going to be like, oh, you know, it's like the A-Rod back in the day. It's like we're paying all this guy all this money and he's going to strike out with the runners on second and third or whatever. So I get where that comes from. But at the end of the day, you have to look at what Giancarlo has done in the playoffs. He was incredibly clutch last year. This year, he's been great. I know he's injury prone and, you know, he did miss pretty much 2 full years almost basically, but this year he's been unbelievable. 2018 he was very good. He's clutch. He's had big hits, big moments. He's not a booable guy.
Says all the right things too. Doesn't that get slept
handles
on.
the
He's
media
very,
very well.
very, very good with the
I
media.
like his eyebrow too.
Okay. With the little thing he's got
I like
there.
that.
Yeah.
I think you're pretty cool if you could pull it off.
He's a cool guy.
He's just a very like cool.
He's really strong. He's got 4 cocks.
Hold on a second, Marty, because this is right up your alley. We haven't talked about Bronx.
Oh
my God! Yeah.
I mean, I'm fucking in love with the turtle.
I'd
Bronxie, the turtle, is now 8-1 since they've adopted him.
Can we fuck a turtle?
I would if I could.
All right, that's all the answer we need. All right, keep going.
I don't know if that breaks like state laws and whatever, but I would if I could. Bronxie Turtle was adopted right
All
after
right, let's take like a breather here. That's pretty weird. You just said you'd fucking turtle ups.
I told you
I know we're all having. I know we're all having fun here on the podcast, but that was a little too far.
It's a little too much, dude.
I said I'd die for the win the World Series. You hold my ashes at the parade. You think I'd stop?
We didn't say you gotta fuck him to win a World Series. You just said you'd fuck. Anyway,
after the Yankees lost their weekend series to the Indians, and things where we described them as being a hospice patient, they adopted a turtle in like classic like Marty Mush fashion, I feel like, and that's when they swept the Rangers. Then they swept the Red Sox, and I believe they brought him to Boston, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they did.
And they couldn't bring him to Toronto, but I'm sure they were telling him things and sending him text messages and FaceTimes and all that.
So they've still never lost with him in the building.
Correct.
Okay.
Do you think if they're in do you think we get a visual on Bronxie mid-game if they're in like the wild card and playoffs?
I wonder.
He's got an aquarium.
Is there a rule against having a live turtle in your dugout?
The fucking Rays have actual Rays in the outfield, don't they?
It's just a little different because that's the stands.
No. Well, we give them an aquarium. Of course, we're not crazy people.
I was like, it's a little different because that's in the stands, and Marty at the same time was like, because it's their name. It's not like just because it's their like the Tigers can't have Tigers just.
I don't. Yeah,
I feel like they do. No.
No. Do you think the Angels? I'm sorry. You think the Tigers have a tiger in the stands?
I feel like they have like a tiger somewhere about them.
They don't, but whatever. Like they wouldn't be able to happen in the dugout. I mean, a turtle, yeah.
The turtle shouldn't be in the dugout.
But this is important, Bronxie. I feel like we've said this before. Every team needs a thing. Every World Series team, every team that's special, quote unquote, they have a thing. We're like 09 Yankees had the pies after the walk-off wins and everything. Like a couple years ago, I mean, they didn't win the World Series, but like fucking Savages, next man up. I was trying to there was the cat a few weeks ago.
Earlier in the year was when they were about to sweep the Astros in Houston. They did the jacket thing because it was cold or whatever, and then all of a sudden Altuve happened, so that went out the window.
I think a physical thing is an actual like Savages. Next
Rally Monkey
is all. Rally Monkey will scar me in my fucking. Of
course,
were one of the best postseason teams ever. But
that 02 team, it's insane that they did not win. Yeah,
fact. But I think a physical thing instead of the Savages, instead of the next man up, like hypothetical thing where it's just our team. It's like, this is a turtle.
Right.
This thing is we need to make sure of this thing. We got to do it.
We were talking. I mean, like the second, and we were talking about this yesterday. Me and Hubsworth. The second we put this shirt out, they're going to lose, and they did lose last night. So I'm glad we didn't.
We got to put out a Bronx.
We're gonna get on.
Maybe when the Yankees clinch, we put it out.
No,
that's my plan. That was my plan. I was going to text you after the show.
Okay. Well, let the people know.
Here we are. Yeah, we're gonna get on there for sure. I mean, I love Bronxie. So the backstory, Nestor. Nestor was the Nestor was the one who went ahead and was like, "Hey, here we go. We got to get a turtle. Like things are getting bad." So they went to a few Yankees. I think we just went to a pet store, which is a hilarious visual. And then Tommy, you wrote the blog. I was moving that day. Good thing you got it up. But you made note of the notion of DJ. He just stared at it and he couldn't possibly show affection to a turtle, but he just stares at it 24/7. Was like, this thing's cool, but I can't possibly say I like it to him.
I feel like DJ LeMahieu might not be able to comprehend what a turtle is. Like DJ LeMahieu just looking at it, he's like, who's this guy? Why is this guy so short? Why is he not wearing a Yankee jersey? Like
he's like suspicious of the turtles. Like this guy's
he's like, what is this fucking guy doing?
I think he gets what a turtle is, but it's like it's not. It shouldn't be here. And he's like, why is it in the locker room? And why am I staring at this fucking thing?
It was way fucking harder than we ever thought it was going to be when we were doing this podcast last week, fresh off of the Blue Jays series. But my God, the Yankees somehow find a way into the postseason. They are going to Boston Tuesday night, the wild card game. Aaron Judge walks it off Sunday in a game that basically just was a playoff game in itself. It had all the atmosphere of that. My God, I have lost years of my life just watching the game alone, never mind the season. I have no more nails to bite on my fingers. My blood pressure is not a good spot.
My heart is not in a good spot, but we're moving on. We are avoiding a chaotic tiebreaker situation as likely as it seemed for most of this day, with the Blue Jays pounding and the Sox losing at one point and whatever. Tuesday in Boston, Yankees, Red Sox. It was always going to be this way. We talked about the Barstool gods. They get their wish, of course. We'll be streaming Tuesday in Hoboken, living and dying in every pitch. How are we feeling, guys?
Never a doubt. Never a doubt. All season long, boys. We knew it. We knew this was a playoff destined team. No, I mean, it almost is perfect that the season ended this way. Like, it would have been too easy. As we said, Thursday night, we're so positive. We're like, this is the happiest show we've had all year, because the Yankees was almost impossible for them to not make the playoffs, or at least have a game 163 that night. It was meant to be this way. It was meant to go down with two pathetic losses on Friday. Well, Friday they almost staged a comeback, but pathetic loss on Saturday. Looked horrible all day today. To go in a walk-off win, though, to Clint, like, I'm now starting to think this team's special again. Like, Saturday, the wave of emotions with this team isn't right. Saturday, it was like, this team fucking sucks. They're losers. Like, you know, they get hot, but they're cold again. This is their true colors. Now it's like, all right, game 162, last day of the season. They had a walk-off win to clinch a playoff spot. This team's special. This team's different. I don't know where I'm at right now.
All right. It's the end of the Yankee season. This godforsaken season is finally over. Is a little bit of relief, honestly, with how much of a roller coaster and there's so many lows, and the lows were so low, and the highs were just immediately eliminated by those lows pretty much all year. The Yankees really just got fucking walked over in this wild card game. Gerrit Cole was awful. The bullpen, you know, they were asked to get a ton of outs because he didn't last long at all, and yeah, they gave up some runs here. The offense was completely non-existent. There were some moments on the stream that I couldn't believe what happened. I'm demoralized. I'm defeated. It's time to fucking clean house. I'm furious. But honestly, there's like some odd like relief that this season's over because it was such a fucking toll to watch.
It was pathetic. Tonight was pathetic. Tonight was really just perfectly encapsulated everything that was wrong this season. The offense, they were lifeless from the jump. Gerrit Cole, you're a loser, buddy.
What the fuck?
You're
man?
A choke artist. Like, I know we're gonna hear maybe he was more hurt than he let on. Whatever.
I think he was.
You're a $324 million ace. We literally paid Gerrit Cole for playoff games. I'm not gonna say a wild card. We played Gerrit Cole for do or die playoff games. You're at Fenway Park. You're facing your rival. You got to go out there and shove. He dug the Yankees an immediate hole in the first inning. He got 6 fucking outs. 6 outs. You got 6 outs and probably should have given up more than 3 runs if Clay Holmes wasn't a god. That's pathetic.
Clay kept them in this game.
Gerrit Cole, any goodwill that he's won over with Yankee fans over these past 2 seasons, it's all out the fucking window. He should get booed next opening day, and the offense is fucking pathetic. I mean, they didn't show a lick of fight. Aaron Boone needs to be fired. Brian Cashman needs to be fired. They need to redo this whole organization.
One single person was on second base the entire game.
Is that true? Is that actually stat?
One single person was on second base the entire game. I honestly don't think we got one leadoff hit either.
I was just looking at that.
Pretty sure we didn't get one leadoff hit. You can't get anything started. And let me tell you, if there's any, I want Gerrit Cole's job. 324 minutes to work for 17 minutes.
Not one leadoff.
Not one leadoff guy on.
One leadoff
Can you imagine making 324 mil for 17 minutes? That's what he did tonight. 17 minutes of work. You fucking bum.
Yeah, man.
And I'm done defending him.
No,
it's like, what has he been? What has he done? And I've tried so hard. Like, yeah, he's so good. It's our guy. What has he done to fucking do anything?
I've been trying to defend, especially with the spider tack stuff, where I've been trying to say, like, oh, well, he had that shutout in Houston, and, you know, his numbers are down, but he showed that he adjusted, and he had some really dominant starts. That's out the window. The bottom line is Gerrit Cole is not the same pitcher without spider tack. Like, that's a sad reality. And tonight, I know it's easy to say, oh, it's one start. How could you, throw away everything else? This is the start, though. Like, yeah, next year maybe he'll have an ERA of fucking 2.42 in July when he's shutting down the Kansas City Royals. But you paid him for nights like this, and he failed.
What's up? What's happening? Welcome to another edition of The Short Porch presented by Barstool Sports. A very special edition. Number 300. 300 is just, an unbelievable amount of talking, and if you think about it, 40 to an hour every time. But yeah, we're in studio. Myself, Tommy Smokes, Marty Mush, Noah on the ones and twos, and a very special guest. Couldn't think of anybody else we'd want on the pod for number 300. He'll be along with us the whole ride. Jabba Chamberlain, back on the pod for the second time, long-awaited second time. How's it going, pal?
Same shit, different day. Here we go. You know, it's seeing it was 300. I'm like, whoa, you guys, somebody that actually listened to you for 300 times. That's impressive.
That doesn't mean anyone's listening. That just means we put them out.
Well, true. They just keep saying yes and keep tuning in.
They keep sending us ad reads, so we assume we're like, okay, cool. Like,
yeah, no
we
one's
got
canceled us yet. So
we're honestly like week to week, like, oh, we got another email for ad reads. All right, guys, got to figure out an episode next week. Sure, no problem. No, 300 is crazy. But yeah, we got you along for the ride. The first time you came on was just our actual like introduction, like to you and like us talking in general. And now,
I think it's technically his third appearance. Wasn't the second time we had him like over FaceTime?
That's fair. After the live stream we didn't hear when Cole struck out like
Braves or Angels game, one of them.
Yeah. Oh no, it was the Braves game because it got tight, and we were talking about chatting afterwards.
You watch games like you're still playing.
Oh, 100%.
You're
it's
a
like
fucking nut job.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's too, like legitimately the last two games. Like I literally had to be home, like because I didn't want people like they're talking about certain things when they make no sense. So I legitimately ordered pizza one day, made tacos the other day, and literally was on the couch with two iPads, my computer going, like looking up stupid stats, listening to the game, and it's just like just the perspective that you get because you know the feeling because you've been there, but then also being a fan and seeing it from the other side of it, but like just the little nuances and stupid stats from the World Series. Like Terrence Gore just won his third World Series and he has 2 plate appearances and 5 stolen bases. Like, it's unbelievable.
No, that's a dream.
Completely off topic. What we were talking about before with candy. You want to ask him about candy?
Oh yeah. Do you think chocolate's considered candy? Or do you think
isn't its own category?
Within candy,
my guy,
I think it's candy.
It's not. Chocolate is chocolate.
Candy's
like fucking like Starburst is candy. Like
they're both candy.
A gummy bear is like kind of candy. Like,
but chocolate is a specific kind of candy.
If I'm like, hey Jabba, you want to go? What do you want candy from 7-Eleven? He goes, no, give me a chocolate bar.
You would say no, give me a chocolate bar, or you would be like, oh yeah, give me a Kit Kat.
Give me some chocolate.
You don't think a little piece of Twix is candy?
No, I think it's chocolate.
That's candy.
Crazy. What do you think?
I mean, I'm just now looking. Chocolate, a fruit preparation in the form of a paste or solid block made from roasted or ground cocoa seeds that has nothing to do with candy.
But all right, you go to Halloween. If someone gives you chocolate, you're gonna be like, "What's this? This isn't candy."
No, okay. I'll create this too. But what about like chocolate covered candy?
What does that mean?
What the fuck does that mean? It's just chocolate.
Like, I know, but it's like those box of chocolates. You get a cherry or something, or a hard candy, or something wrapped in chocolate. What is that?
Are you so let's say like a pretzel, chocolate wrapped pretzel? Is that candy?
I mean, that's not. Is that considered a candy?
Yeah, okay,
exactly.
That's not candy.
No,
yeah.
that shows you that chocolate's its own thing because it would be called candy pretzels.
No.
Yes, it is. Only argument that you have is that if you go to the candy aisle, chocolate bars are there. That's the only argument you have.
It's a big argument.
So would you consider chocolate closer to potato chips or Sour Patch Kids?
It's its own thing. It's not.
Okay, well, on the spectrum, where is it closer
to? It's not any
to?
of them, you moron. It's
what do you mean?
I'm
not saying. I'm asking if there's a spectrum of food. We know it's not fucking pizza. It's far from pizza. Where between potato chips and Sour Patch Kids would you put chocolate?
Both in the middle.
So in your mind,
you're an idiot.
If you compare this to like alcohol, like Jaeger is liqueur. It's its own thing. That's your mind. What chocolate is? It's its own thing. It's not
but that's a true aspect though. There's a difference between a liqueur and so you can have a Patron lime liqueur that is totally different than the tequila that has a liquor.
I think we're winning, Jabba.
I just think you're wrong.
Grocery store thing is their best argument.
And I gave it to you.
It's our best argument.
Why would you do such a thing?
Because I know people are going to listen and be like, oh, what about that? I'm like, I'm getting it all out there. Chocolate's its own thing.
If I tell you you can just go to the store and get candy, I'm gonna say, all right, give me a Kit Kat bar.
He's right. You ever heard of something candy covered?
Yeah, candy covered apple.
No, it's called a candy.
That's
apple.
a caramel. That's a caramel apple, jackass.
Oh yeah, no, there's candy apples. I think
I've heard of candy apples.
Yeah, like this, like candy apple, like
candy
the
apple.
sucker.
Yeah, is it chocolate on there?
Yeah.
No,
Some
it's
of them
caramel
have
and it's
chocolate.
There's no chocolate on a candy apple.
Assorted caramel apples.
That's different.
I will say, chocolate covered strawberry is for sure like its own thing. That's not candy.
No, it's
but that's
not.
like a that's a
because
dessert.
chocolate's its own thing. You don't have candy covered
Super easy
strawberries.
candy apple recipe. Candy apples are a thing.
All right, we're now joined by the 18-year-old Yankees reporter who has burst onto the scene in 2021 with his videos of Jasson Dominguez. He's been featured on ESPN, MLB Network, you name it. Now Barstool Sports. Welcome in Eli Fishman. What's going on, man? Straight from his dorm room, it looks like.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Straight from Ithaca College dorm room.
What do you know about Anthony Volpe? What have you seen from him in person? Have you interviewed him?
Yeah, I interviewed him.
Yeah. So what's he like as a player and as a person? Is he the next Derek Jeter, like everyone says?
Hype us up. Give me look, we got a lockout right now. I want to hear.
Don't give
about,
us any negatives.
Yeah,
give us the only positive.
Zero negatives.
Report.
All right. For Volpe, for the minor leagues in general, where the thing that you look for the most is like the it factor. Like, it's hard to pick up on. You almost never see it. Like when you see a guy and that guy is insanely special, you say that guy's it. That guy has it. Very few people I've ever seen have it in the minors. And Anthony Volpe, when you see him play, he has it. He is one of the most special players I've seen.
That got me so
He should be the starting shortstop tomorrow. I don't care if he's not ready.
He's legitimately one of the best baseball players I've ever. He's legitimately one of the best baseball players I've ever seen.
Dominguez isn't
at any
refined
level
at all. So obviously Volpe is
not.
way ahead of him. In terms of a minor leaguer, you've really never seen someone as polished as him.
I mean, I've seen a lot of big dudes in the minors. Wander Franco and Bo Bichette, but he's close. He's truly very, very close.
He's defensively at another level, right?
He's like a wizard. Like he just makes the insane plays. And another thing,
I genuinely believe because the Yankees did nothing in free agency here, and it seems like if they're going to do something big, it's going to be in the trade market. I think Volpe's way more off the table than Dominguez is in trade discussions. I generally don't even think they're listening on Volpe. It's literally hang up the phone if that's what you think that you're going to get. No chance, right? That's what you
100%. And then another thing about him too is he's so little. He literally looks like a 16-year-old. He could legitimately pass as a 15 or 16-year-old.
Who looks older? Who looks older, you or him?
I think him.
Thank God.
Okay. That was scaring me. I get it. He can have a baby face, but come on, we don't need that. No.
What's he like off the field too, from your interviews and stuff?
He is very much. You saw it in the Yes Network interview he did this past week too. He is very much you hate to say Jeter-esque, but very much like a cool, collected leader, professional on and off the field. And he definitely, Jeter's his hero, and he grew up a Yankee fan, which is another great part of the story, that he wants to be Jeter, and Jeter's his role model, and he very much tries to act like him, and he very much plays like him too.
So, what do we talk? 2023, realistically?
Yeah, realistically, it very, very much depends on what the shortstop situation is for the Yankees. But I do think there's a world where we see him in September. I don't think that's necessarily likely, but I do think it's a possibility. But opening day or April or whatever it is in terms of the service time,
Glaber,
however
what they did with Glaber, because they held Glaber down for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever.
Yeah, to manipulate the service time.
Yeah, and who knows actually what that's going to look like with the new
with
CBA.
the CBA, exactly.
Right.
But yeah, I'd say 2023.
Interesting. What was I going to say? Next guy on the list, Oswald. Let's talk a little about Oswald. Tell me a little bit. So that's the other shortstop here. That's the guy I think they're going to dangle more in trades.
Just in my
Yeah, he's definitely closer to the big leagues than Volpe, and more of a big leaguer. I would have a lot of confidence with him being a big league opening day shortstop for the Yankees, honestly. And he's a very, very consistent player. He just looks like a big leaguer in the way he goes about his business. He's a guy who's going to hit for average, steal a lot of bases, plays a heck of a shortstop.
Yeah, he's further along than Volpe at defensively, from what I gather.
Yeah,
but that's not a slight on Volpe. It's just like he's that good at shortstop.
Yeah. He's that good all around. Peraza is like he could hit for power. Serious line drives. He's just insanely consistent day in, day out. He's going to be a big league star shortstop. The thing is, he's just not, as flashy as Volpe. He's very consistent. He's more smooth, and he definitely has a lot of 20-25 potential, or 25-25, stolen base, home run potential. There's a lot to like about him, and he's going to be. I seriously would have a lot of faith in him being the opening day shortstop for the Yankees. I don't know if it's
2022.
Yeah,
they're not going to do that, but
they're not going to do that.
You think he can handle it?
Yes, they're not going to do that, and I wouldn't expect them to by any means, obviously. But if it came to that, or if he were to go to the Oakland Athletics, he could be their opening day shortstop.
All right, this is a new thing. We never interviewed a guy who had just left the Yankees before, but here he is in the flesh this time. I think last time we were just talking to like a blank screen. But Clint Frazier, welcome back to the Short Porch. What's going on, man?
Appreciate it, bro. This time, I turned my camera on this time. I told my fiance the other day, I was like, I don't think I've ever turned it on, so today will be the day. So, thanks for letting me come on.
You could have been catfishing us for all we know. You could have had like a fake person here talking to us.
That was the point, because if I said anything, no one could prove it.
Like they had a fake Clint Frazier on. What are you talking about?
There was the guy that was different talking, not me.
Especially with the deep fake shit. Like you could do some dangerous stuff with that. That would be next level.
We've asked you it before. We've asked many people it before. Nobody gives us an answer. You don't have to give us an answer, but I figured it's 3 years later now. You're leaving. What does the 4-finger celebration mean? The 2019 Yankee 4-finger celebration. What's the meaning behind that?
Oh man, there's some good ones. Like, all right, I'll go into I won't be mentioning names, but that one was, we had a person in the front office that would walk into, so like in the cafeteria in spring training, we would all eat breakfast in this like one area, and it would be like, if you're a Yankees employee that's like, on the training staff, strength coach, players, front office, like you're eating there, like you can go in. So he walked in, and these guys have names, by the way, that are making our breakfast food, and the names were never, he never said their names, and he would just walk in straight up and just go. So that was his way, that he wanted 4 eggs scrambled, and that was it. Like no, like nothing else, just like, hey, 4. So I know that the 4 was created afterwards, because it was like, hold on, one of the players was like, that needs to be addressed. Yeah. So for the rest of the year, this is going to remind you that guy has a name, and you can call him by his name if you want breakfast.
Holy shit. That's amazing.
Wow. That one is an interesting one, as it is. You find those out if you come up from Scranton. Like, I wasn't a part of those. Like, I kind of like walk into the whole, like, but like when I do it, they're like, we're optioning this guy. Like, he's gone. Like, yeah, he's gone.
He's having too much fun out there going like this.
He does this, that's one day added on. So
it's like the Michael Scott. Like, I'd love to be a part of an inside joke one day.
All right, thanks. If you made it this far through the best of, listen to everything we did, I appreciate you. I appreciate if you listened all year long. I love you guys. You bought a piece of merch, read a blog, just respond to our tweets, sent a voicemail into the pod, listen to the pod, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Can't get enough of you guys out there. I genuinely appreciate you guys. This is a little bit of our time off at Barstool. Some of us are still working. But for the short porch, take a little bit of a break here because we are trying to grind for you 24/7 when the season's going on. Like literally, if I'm not thinking about something with anything else I'm doing at Barcelona, I'm thinking about how to improve the show and what to do with the show and all that. So I'm still thinking about that. So any ideas you guys have that you want to see come to fruition in 2022, hit me up. Let me know. We're doing more streams for sure. I think we had a blast with those streams. And you guys love them too. And we gave away too much merch probably that we got in trouble for. But definitely want to do more of those. Ideally, they play better in 2022. That just makes everything easier. Ideally, COVID kind of goes away. It doesn't seem like at the moment that's happening. It's like the opposite. But I want to do live shows. Maybe hit up Jabba's bar in the city. Have him come up. That would be fun. So some plans here, definitely in the works for 2022, along with just obviously this podcast. So looking forward to it all. Looking forward to you guys listening. Seeing you guys around the stadium again, of course. Just getting back in the swing of things. Football's kind of winding down here. At least college football and playoffs at some point for the NFL coming soon. So baseball right around the corner, sneaky. Once like February hits, once the Super Bowl's over, it's like, here we go, baseball. Obviously, it's March Madness, but like professional sports wise, baseball. So I'm excited for it to get going again. But once again, appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a very, very happy holidays. Hope your Christmas was good, your Hanukkah was good, anything else you guys are celebrating, and hope you guys have a great New Year's as we head into 2022. That's the short porch. We'll see you back here next year. That's a Tommy little thing there I did there, but we'll see you next year. Later.